She's right at freezing today. Can't quite see my January 26th, back out at the farm. I normally don't do 2 days in a row, but you know, it was a little bit warmer today. And so I decided to venture out and cut a few logs. And no idea what the body's going to have in it. But always, it's just part of the process of freeing the mind and enjoying it. So here we go. This log is always just warming up, trying to get my hips. Normally I do this with single. However, the wood's frozen, so I'm not sticking a saw. All my gear is set up for white pine, and the points are relatively thin. And you put it in frozen gear, you rip the points right off. So I would much rather err on the side of logic and just forego single training. I'm thinking about putting a log in the back of the truck, taking it home, setting it inside, much to my wife's chagrin, letting it thaw out, and then maybe bringing it back out the next time I train, which will probably be Thursday if all goes well. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just not sure how the work schedule is going to work. Anyway, first log, it's a piece of crap oak. It's 10 inches, and I'm just getting loose. So this one's just more to get some hits in. 14-inch black walnut. I think it's going to be good on the outside, but it's going to be frozen on the inside like that one yesterday. So it's going to be awesome chips for the first couple rounds, and then it's going to be like fucking slapping wet sand. So, yay. I'm just going to try and get in front end. I may test my thresholds. I may do a small turn and get the big wood out in the back before I start slapping the sand again. "15-inch tulip. Now, this was a tree pole that dried out. I wrapped it, and it's been sitting in the backyard under a foot of snow for a long time. Well, we've had snow now for 3-4 weeks, so I don't know what the hell it's going to cut like. It's probably going to be royal shit, but we shall see. Oh boy. Holy shit. 4 of these tulips in here for today. Shit, if I can get 2 of these off, I'll be freaking doing well. Hell, that hurt. That was worse than slapping wet sand. That's like running head first into a freaking concrete wall. Mm. I'm not gonna lie, that hurt. And here's the thing, I got a 13-inch tool up in the freaking underhand I'm getting ready to cut. Fuck. This is the, yeah. I'm trying to find a fuck to actually be able to cut this, because I know this is crap. But, you know, there's a certain adage or a certain reality that training on this kind of wood doesn't really do that much. But for what I'm working on, which right now is trying to get my fitness back, maybe it has a place. But normally cutting wood that responds this way to the axe, you know, you're not going to find anything that cuts like that. However, that being said, when I cut that freaking iron bark here in about a month and a half or whatever it is, you know, I have to open a much narrower scarf and cut with less slope on the uphits. But still yet, similar circumstance, just like hitting a damn brick wall with your forehead. So I flipped over that log that I cut in the block earlier. Now I'm trying to find the fuck to cut it. And I have gazed upon that field of fucks, and it's barren. Okay, one of the secrets to athletic training is to train as hard as you can, as often as you can, with as perfect a technique as you can. And when any of those things are a little bit off, you need to back away. Okay, so ideally you want to train at about probably 75 to 80% of your maxes most often as possible. Now, defining what the max is in this sport is a little bit different. It's counterintuitive. It's what is working for you. Right now, it's fitness for me. So I'm pretty confident on my swings. And so I am just working on fitness. And I'm not going to lie, I am really not looking forward to cutting this. It's freaking cold. The wood is frozen and it's dry and it's just crap. But yeah, you got to do this in order to get your better. Okay. Enough for the day. I'm starting to, it's not lose interest, but my body's saying, you're there. But, you know, I don't share a lot of stuff that I do. When I was younger, I used to share when I was doing the Olympic lifts and the presses and the squats and all the more technical lifts because I had a coach watching me. Since I stopped Olympic lifting, since I blew out my left shoulder, I don't share that crap anymore. But I strength train 4 to 5 days a week. And I usually chop 2 days a week. And those days switch when the season comes around, or the more we get into the preseason. In other words, I shift from 5 and 2 to probably 4 and 3. And then occasionally I'll take a day off. I just have to. Body requires it. It all depends on my work schedule and everything else like that. But yeah. I never will videotape a cold plunge or not time in the sauna because that's just stupid. Anyway, I'm done. Everyone have a great day. My fat ass does a lot of cardio. I probably do cardio each day I strength train. I normally start off the day with some form of cardio for an hour and a half while I'm reading and dictating and answering emails after I shut my phone off at 5 p.m. every day. And that will either be 3 to 5 miles on the treadmill, or I'll do one of those fat incinerators on the elliptical stepper with the kettlebell. And I try to do 1 day a week of the fat incinerator, and then I do 4 days a week on the treadmill. And I try to get at least 30 to 40 minutes a week in the peak zone, which for me is above 151. And I try to get at least 2 to 3 hours in the vigorous zone, which is above 131. And then I don't even count the moderate stuff, which is above 110. So anyway. Just as a frame of reference, this session, which probably has lasted about 3.5 hours today, in that 8 hours or 3.5 hours, I got 8 minutes in the vigorous zone, which is between 131 and 151. Never went into peak. Okay. And I got like 37 minutes in the moderate zone, which is 110 to 131. So frankly, these sessions are nothing more than general physical preparedness, GPP. And I think that the more I get into specialized training, which is logs that are closer to, what we're going to be cutting in competition. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to find that's going to take me 3 minutes to cut, but frankly, one of those freaking poplars, that's going to take 3 minutes to cut. And that's what it's going to take to cut that little 10-inch fucking ironbark at Millmerran. And I just want to be able to make sure that I'm not going to die. That's at this stage of my life, that's what I'm training for, is to not die. So, but anyway, just as a frame of reference.